Well, the London Rippers are no more, and with them goes my summer job. After I created my first video about the Rippers, I was contacted by the owner to become the PA announcer. Some phone calls, a meeting at a bar with a handshake, and a few emails later, and a dose of Buckley finally paid off for me. Sort of. I'm not going to get into that right now, but let's just say I'm not the only staff member wondering if they'll get their final paycheck before this city gets another baseball franchise, which will be never if anyone has any business sense at all. But what I liked about it is that it might be the first time a person has ever been offered a job after calling a city a bunch of pussies. What I didn't realize up until the last little while is that apparently I'm surrounded by a bunch of pussies. Anyway, of course the local news organizations were quick to bury the team, and the people who live in this city were right there to say, "I told you so." But it's self-fulfilling prophecy because those same people never bought a ticket to go see a game. I'm sure there are many other cities like this, but London is a city full of yuppies who only support things that will boost their own social status. And of course, it wasn't cool to be seen at a London Rippers game for a couple of reasons. Number one, the name, and number two, the fact that they weren't winning. Apparently I gave this city even more credit than I should have. I thought, whatever, people are whiny, but they'll get over the name. They didn't. They were still pissed about the team being named after a serial killer that committed crimes over 100 years ago in another country and may or may not have been any number of people, despite the fact that the actual London, England, you know, where the murders happened, have fucking tours set up where you can go see the exact street corner where some prostitute had her kidneys removed in 1888. That's right, London, Ontario, Canada. British people are less stuck up than you. British people! As for the team's record, well, no one likes to support a loser, unless you're a Maple Leafs or a Habs fan, and London, Ontario is really brutal for bandwagon jumping. Our basketball team, the London Lightning, had okay attendance to start off their first year. Then they started winning, then they made it to the playoffs, and all of a sudden the place is packed. And so-called fans are all buying merchandise and pretending that they were fans right from the start. And I can guarantee you right now, if they don't continue to perform, those seats will be empty halfway through the second season. Our London Knights, an OHL hockey team, do very well in attendance, but that's because they've been pretty decent over the last several years, including this year when they won the championship. In '95, they went 3-60-3. You heard me. 3 wins, 60 losses, and 3 ties. You know how many people were in the arena to see that? No, you don't, because no one was there to tell you. I went to a game that season. You could have shot a shirt cannon from center ice in 12 different directions, and the cleaning crew would have got back all 12 shirts at the end of the night, plus maybe a few more from fans who decided to leave theirs behind. Back to the Rippers. Another reason people claim they failed is because they couldn't sell beer. It's a long story, but the short version was that they couldn't secure a liquor license, and a live baseball game without a beer for many people is like porn without the money shot. Really boring and really dry. But at the end of the day, and I said it in a graphic that appeared for 7 seconds in my first video about the Rippers, no one gives a shit about baseball in this city, and that's the true reason the team failed. 4 professional teams have now folded in less than 20 years. It didn't matter if they sold beer, the Tigers sold beer, and attendance started dropping once they did. It didn't matter if they were winning, the Werewolves made the playoffs twice and won the championship once, and still no one showed up. And it didn't matter what they were called, this city would have found some reason to bitch. If they wanted a name that accurately represents this city, it should have been called the London Crybabies, and the logo could have been an infant throwing a tantrum and pissing itself. But there didn't need to be any more discussion beyond this. Canadians in general don't care about baseball, because it's too slow, it takes too long to play, and there's no random acts of violence allowed. So, goodbye, London Rippers. We'll always have the memories of the most badass and controversial logo in minor league sports, a bunch of pussies complaining about a thing they had no intentions of going to in the first place, and residents 3 blocks away complaining that I was too fucking loud.